Hey family, I have a very special and important message today. Very, very important. The message I want to share today is about grounding and being grounded and present in our bodies in this moment right now. Embodied means in the body. It means in the body. It means being here right now in this moment, aware and present. So let's begin. The importance of grounding. It's amazing if we go astral traveling and doing all of these things in the ethers. It's amazing. But the most important thing from those journeys, those travels, is what we bring back. Because what is the point of doing all of these things in the astral or in the ethers if you cannot bring them back here where they are needed? You see, Earth is like the main stage. This is where the big show is happening, you know? And if we were supposed to just be in the astrals or just be in the ethers, we would not have become physical. We would have stayed non-physical. We would have stayed with the angels or with the mermaids or with the dragons or with the unicorns or with all of these other celestial non-physical beings, right? If our main mission and the place where we would be needed the most would be there, then we wouldn't be physical. The earth is the main stage. That's why it's so important to be embodied in the body. And what does embodied mean? It means we have all of these downloads, all of these insights. We go on our astral journeys, on our ethereal journeys. We do all of this work in meditation and all of that in all of these different dimensions. But the purpose of all of this is to bring it back here in the body, in this moment, in this reality. That is the point. Your downloads, your visions, your astral travels don't mean anything if you cannot embody them in the present. So imagine in the astrals you can become this crazy warrior of light and no one can destroy you and you are invincible and super powerful and you have all of these tricks and all of these tools and all of these magic. But then when you come back to the physical, it's all gone. When you come back to the physical, something happens that triggers you in your physical reality and you get triggered and you fight or you hide or you run away. So what is the point of having all of these magic in the astrals and in the ethers if you cannot bring them back into your body and use them here right now? My guides, I've been like the whole day with this same message, and this message of grounding and embodiment comes to me as a book, and I am just reading and sharing and translating the very first pages of this massive book, which is a book of all the reasons why it is so important for us to be present in the bodies. Because ascension happens in your body. You're not going to become non-physical and then this new earth and this 5D will everything become non-physical. That's not how it is. It is through the body, through the physicality. That is how we ascend. So that's why we need to be present and aware and take care of our vessels. Because ascension is not something that happens outside the physical. The thing about this ascension, this transition from what you call the 3D earth to 4D earth and 5D earth, it's in the physical body. It's in your physical earth. So the guides keep telling me how this message is one of the most or the most important message for all of us. Because this message is the center, is the essence, is the core of all the downloads, all the visions, all the astral travels, all the meditations. This message is the core. It's the essence. It's the center. This is why we have chosen to become physical. If we were not needed physically, we would have stayed non-physical. We are needed here on this earth right now in these physical bodies, fully embodied. And what does again embodied means? It means you are a living expression of your downloads, of your visions, of your meditations, of your astral travels. You are a living embodiment of all that you know. You are the alchemist and the alchemy. You bring all of this information from the ethers. You bring all of this information, but nothing serves you if you cannot embody it. This is about being. Being is the alchemy of turning your knowledge, what you learn and discover and receive in the astrals and the ethers in your meditations, and transforming that, alchemizing that into wisdom, which is physical action, you know. This message is so huge. Like I said, it's like a book, and I'm just reading the first 2 pages that I literally had to kind of write some notes down, you know. Whew. Yes, again, with the earth being the main stage. And this is where all of these beings want to come to earth, want to experience life in this body. And so many times we want to run away. We want to bypass. We want to literally get away from the body. So many of us, in many times in our journeys, we have cried and prayed, please, I just want to go home. I can't take this anymore. I want to go home. But the thing is, you know, you are always home. You are just as home in your non-physical home as you are in this body, on this earth. Wherever you are home. But the earth is like this main stage, and everyone wants to play a role, you know. Everyone wants to come down and experience life in this way, because it is so different than staying non-physical, you know. And we are the ones who are here right now experiencing this. And our mission is to receive and attune ourselves, our antennas, to all of these downloads and visions and information. But the point, the essence, the center is to bring them into the physical, into the body. The point is to be embodied, to be a living reflection of your downloads, a living, embodied human. Meaning you are in this vessel right now and you are embodying all of you, all aspects of self embodied and present in this moment. aware of your multidimensionality, and present in this moment right now. This is where you are needed. This is where I am needed. And that is why I am being called to share this video. You are needed here in the physical. I am needed here in the physical. Yes, what we do in our astral travels and when we travel to other dimensions is essential. But the reason why it is essential is because we can then bring those back here. Here. In this now moment. Right here, right now, is where everything is. So when you flee this now moment to go somewhere else, you're not fully present as the center or the eye of the storm. And this storm does not have to be a bad storm, you know, it's neutral. You don't need to perceive it as good or bad. You can perceive it as neutral. A storm. And being in the eye of the storm, in the center of the storm, aware of everything that is going on around you, all around you, and inside of you. This is where we are needed. This is where we are truly needed. Because again, what is the point of being this massive warrior in the astrals or in the ethers, and then you're on the street and someone comes up to you and triggers you, and you freeze, or you want to hide, or you want to run away, or you react in a way that is not your truest alignment? What is the point of being this amazing warrior out there, but then not having the ability to live it here, right now? This is where the revolution is happening. This is where everything is happening. That's why you are needed here in your body. I'm checking in my notes to see what else I want to share. So when our roots are firmly in the ground, all our roots connect with each other as one. And the wind, when we are fully rooted and grounded in the earth, in the body, the wind makes us dance. It doesn't take us anywhere. We're not lost. We're not swayed. We are focused and centered, and the wind just makes us dance, you know? When we are fully rooted in ourselves and in the earth, our roots connect just like the roots of the trees, just like the mycelium. Just like the roots of the trees, our roots connect and we become one organism. One living organism. And we are fully in tune with the earth, with ourselves, what is happening in our body, and what is happening with everyone around us. If we are not rooted, we are easily swayed. You know, the wind blows and you just go. And again, there's nothing wrong with that from one perspective, but the message here is that when you are rooted, you know your truth. You don't get so easily distracted. You are not so easily manipulated by other circumstances and conditions. The wind makes you dance, not fly away, but dance in your own ground, in your own truth, in your own body, in your own vessel. Our roots can grow as deep as we wish, and our branches can grow as high as we want. But yet our core remains focused and centered. Our core being the bark of the tree. And the main image and the main visual representation of what this message is a tree. Or all the trees in the world. But it's the tree. The tree is the spine, is the DNA, is the Kundalini. The bark is the core, is the essence, is the heart. The roots are the root chakra, where the snakes rest. You need to first awaken the snakes on the root so they can then start rising up. But first you need to awaken them where they are, which is in the base of your spine, in your root chakra, in the roots of the tree. First the roots, then the core, then the branches. And the core is the bark of the tree, is what makes you focused, contained, but contained not in a limited way, in a focused, sovereign, owning your own energy and being clear way. And your branches are your imagination, where you fly, where you grow, where you expand, where you explore, where you experience. And it's all connected in your center, in your heart, in the bark of the tree. But if your roots are not grounded and you want to fly and explore and experience, you will be swayed away. You might float or fly or get lost, because something else is taking you. Which again, from another perspective, is beautiful. But the perspective here is to remain true and focused on your truth, not being swept away by any wind that comes. We are not swept away by distractions, by outer conditions. The wind makes us dance. It makes us dance, for we are rooted and connected and grounded. Dear family, this is where we are needed. Yes, we do need to go in these meditations and in these astral travels and in these ethereal travels. But why? Why? The why, the core, the center, the essence, the reason is to bring everything here. What is the point of having all of these downloads if you cannot integrate and embody them in your physical reality? What is the point? What is the point of being a strong, invincible warrior in the ethers and then being afraid or terrified or bored to be in the body? then what is the point? If your purpose, if your highest purpose was non-physical, you would have stayed non-physical. But because you are physical, this is your truth. The truth is you travel, you receive, you explore, you understand. But the whole point of all of that is to be it here, now. For again, this is where you are needed. This is where we are all needed. The earth would not change, would not transform, would not shift if there were no physical beings on earth, right? If we left the earth alone and we would just be in our non-physical consciousness, then nothing physical would happen on the earth because there are no physical beings doing anything. Family, this is where we are needed. Yes, we really do need you to receive your downloads and to be open to astral travel and to go to all of these dimensions and open portals and all of that. But just remember that the essence, the reason, the why is to be it here now. Is to embody all that magic that you can play with in the astrals, where you can have lightning on your hands, or like all of these magic water bending and all of these things you can do in the astrals. The point, the reason why you are having these visions, these downloads, these experiments, these experiences in the astrals and in the ethers is for you to remember and to bring them back in your body. It's time to make this magic real in the body. This is what we are. This is our essence, our truth. Our truth is magic, is multidimensionality. Our truth is supernatural. And again, supernatural is simply supernatural. It's so natural. It's so easy. It's so organic. We are meant to bring all of those information, all of those tools, all of that magic, all of those visions, all of those downloads here. Moving energy here. Being present here. Some of us astral travel a lot. Some of us are opening portals. Some of us are making magic. Some of us are shifting and rewriting the code, the structure, the very structure of reality. Some of us have no idea about any of that. Some of us are stuck in our minds, knowingly or unknowingly, consciously or unconsciously, stuck in a loop in our minds. But whether we are stuck in our minds without even knowing about astral travel, about meditation, about all of this information, whether you are that, whether you are experiencing life like that, like not even seeing any downloads, any visions, any synchronicities, any signs, whether you're not seeing it at all, or whether you see it all, the essence, the point, the reason is always to use them, to be them in the moment. If you are stuck in your mind and you don't even know about downloads or about visions or about synchronicity or about non-physical beings and all of this magic, and again, there's nothing wrong with that, it's just an experience. But if that's where you're playing, you are not embodied, meaning someone comes up to you and triggers you so easily because you are just in your mind. And it's just like all of these buttons, all of your trigger buttons are exposed. And anyone can come and just whoop, 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 triggering the fuck out of you, whoop, 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 clicking all of your buttons. If you are not embodied and present while this happens, again, you are very easily distracted and swayed away. And literally, someone can push your buttons and completely dismantle the structure, which is your auric field. Whether this happens without you having any conscious awareness of magic, of multidimensionality, of non-physical beings, non-physical energy, all of these things, whether that or whether you are super in your astral travels, in your meditations, in your opening portals, grid keepers, all of these things, whether you are in the complete oblivious of that or in the complete knowing of that, if you are not embodied, centered, focused, and present, you are again very easily swept away, and your energy field, your structure, your buttons are easily pushed, and your auric field and structure is very easily dismantled. It melts, it disintegrates. Whether you are someone who has no idea about all of these things, or whether you are someone who is completely aware of those. If you are not present in the body, you are easily manipulated. You are easily swept away. You are easily distracted. Family, this is where we are needed. This is where we are needed. We need you to have your visions, to draw your codes, to explore the astral world, to travel to different dimensions in the ethers. But we need you to bring all of that here in your body, in your life, in your physical reality right now. There is no lag, no lack, no distance, no separation, no past, no future. If you are here, present in the body, embodied. Again, embodied means you are the living, breathing expression of your visions, of your downloads, of your knowledge, of your knowing. Family, this is where we are needed. And because the guys want to share me like some things we can do to ground ourselves, because the whole video is about grounding and the whole message is about grounding. And just as I shared before, I received this message as a book and I am simply reading and translating the very first 2 pages. So there is so much more information that wants to come through pertaining this topic of grounding and embodiment. So you can ask, but what can I do to be more grounded? What can I do to be more present? The very first and maybe easiest thing is to stop. 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 So many times we walk around and we run on autopilot. And the thing is, you don't even notice it. And you may be someone who is super conscious and super aware and super all of these things, super multidimensionally aware, but you can still play on autopilot so many times in your life. Sometimes when we do the most basic routines like brushing our teeth or eating or washing the dishes or walking or all these things, we can get easily distracted or go somewhere else or not be present. If we just stop, if we just stop, we physically stop with our bodies. We stop moving. We stop our mind. We stop thinking. We stop thinking about anything and everything that is not here right now. You stop all thoughts and all movement. You become still. And in that stillness comes awareness. And with that awareness comes your embodiment. So stopping is one of the easiest, simplest, and sometimes hardest ways, because we are sometimes so used to the autopilot. And the thing about autopilot is you are most of the times not aware that you are in autopilot. Sometimes, for example, you have to do a certain task in your home, and instead of being present with the task, you are just thinking about the end of the task, getting it done. You're focused on the future where the task is already done. And meanwhile, you're washing your dishes and you don't even know where you are. And someone asks you, "Oh, what were you thinking? What was happening while you were washing the dishes?" And you're like, "I don't even remember. I just know that they are already done." And again, there is nothing wrong with that. But there is so much. And it's not even that there's so much, it's that there is everything. everything to discover, to experience when we are present. And again, there's also a lot you can discover and experience and all of this when you are not present, because you are always present somewhere, somewhere you are present. But the message of this transmission is to be present here. I am present right now recording this video. I am present in my body. I am aware of my body and my surroundings. I am not thinking about what I'm going to say. I'm not thinking about the future or the past. I am here. I am here. And it's here that everything is. So if I'm just present here, then I have access to all the information in the universe, in the cosmos, in whatever you want to call it. Yes? Another thing we can do to be grounded and connected, of course, is going to nature. We all know all of these things. All that I'm sharing, you already know all of it. I am just saying it again and again and again. You already know these things. But are you doing them? Because again, that's what embodiment is putting into practice. It doesn't matter if you know about meditation or about breath work or about being in nature, but you're not doing the thing. What's the point of having these tools if you're not practicing them? What is the point of knowing that if you go to nature, it helps you ground, if you never go to nature to ground? What is the point of knowing all of these things and having all of these tools if you're not using them? So again, you already know all that I'm sharing. Connect with nature. Walk barefoot on the grass. Hug a tree. Communicate with the tree. Look to the leaves, to the plants. Feel with your senses the wind, the sun, your breath, your body. It's so easy to become present, but also so easy to not be present and not even noticing it. But it's so simple. It's literally the simplest thing. Move, but it's not about the movement. It's about you feeling the movement. When you are dancing, your point is never the end of the dance, right? It's the dance itself. It's not the future objective. It's what is happening in the now. It's the unfolding. The dance is not the last act of the dance. The dance is all of it. And are you present in every moment? In every moment. Whether you are moving your body or whether you stop and you are completely still. Because again, my love, it's not about the stillness and it's not about the movement. It's about how present and aware are you in the stillness, in the movement. You can dance and be completely ungrounded and unaware and completely somewhere else. Because again, it's not about the movement itself. It's not about the stillness itself. It's not about all of these practice and tools that I'm sharing that everyone shares. It's not about it. It's about how present and aware are you through it. How present and aware are you in the stillness? And how present and aware are you in your movement? It's not about the movement, it's not about the stillness, it's not about the practices. We can give you all of these practices. Go to nature, move, stop, be still, breathe. But it's not about the practices themselves. It's about where is your attention? Where is your awareness? Where is your presence? Your full embodied presence. I just feel complete. And this was one of the most important messages that I have received and shared. For again, this message is the center of all the other messages. It's the core, it's the center, it's the essence, it's the reason, it's the why. Why do you meditate? Why do you connect with all of these celestial beings? Why do you work with magic? Why do you practice yoga? Why do you do all of these things? Is that so that you can be it here, now? This moment and your presence and your embodiment is the center of everything. There is no point in any practice, in any astral travel, in any visions, downloads, or contacts with other beings if you cannot bring all that information, all of that energy, all of that light in the body, right here, right now, and use it in your physical reality. If you have all of these tools in the ethers or in the mind, but you cannot physically use them, what is their purpose? Can you imagine having all of these tools to work in your garden, like shovels and all of these things? You have them all, but they are just in the shelf and you never actually use them. Then what's the point of having all of those tools if you're not actually going there to the shelf, grabbing them and using them? It's the same thing with all your visions, all your downloads, all your insights, all your knowledge, all your knowing. If you cannot use it here and now and be it here and now, what is the point? This is where we are needed. This is where all the shifts and magic and transformation is happening. It's here in this physical reality. It's in the physical earth. Yes, all of this magic and all these things are happening in the ethers or in the astrals or all of these things. But here, in this physical reality, it's where the main show is. Family, I love you. And I see you. I see you. Working behind the scenes. But you know, there are no more behind the scenes. Everything is transparent. We all are transparent. We are crystal clear. This is what it means to become crystalline. This is what it means. You are transparent, you are see-through, so I can see through you as you can see through me. There is no behind the scenes anymore, for everything is transparent. So yes, I see you, and I see me. Family, this is it, and you know it. This is it, and this is where you are needed. I love you beyond, beyond, beyond. Thank you.